Hey, yo, what's going on? Thank you for stopping through a different day with Ja and
Neci.
you're now tuned in to the number one station in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We are streaming live from 101.3 Row FM's Facebook live stream. You can also catch us on YouTube at VI_very_own. We want to thank you for tuning in and welcome to another live episode of A Different Day. How was your weekend so far?
I'm still waiting on the weekend.
Hey, that's 6 days a week, ain't no joke. We know.
No,
How
I've
much
been up early doing things and errands and everything else that you couldn't do. Yeah.
That's really the bad part, because it's like 2 days is still not enough. But then when you only got 1 day and you gotta do everything plus try to relax at some point, yeah, it's a lot. So hopefully that won't be going on for too much longer. I did work yesterday also, but most of the week I had my 2 days off during the week, so it's cool. And for those that don't know, my birthday is coming up October 12th. Woohoo! I getting older, a good and a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really
40
shocked you announced that just now.
Say what?
I'm really shocked you announced it.
The birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, nobody really tuned in yet. It's cool. It's too early still, so it's cool. Yeah, but
Okay.
40 is like a ton of bricks, dog. Like, you know how you feeling like you're in your 20s and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what they were talking about. Okay. But I'm still here. A lot of people aren't. So I'm happy to be alive and celebrating another year. So that's cool. Will you give me, miss? Eh? You didn't give me nothing, eh?
First of all, no, it's in the cart. I just haven't decided what I'm sending you.
With all the troubles I get sending things, you should have said that 2 weeks ago.
Well,
A
I'm
month
not
ago.
shipping it from here. I'm not shipping it from home, so I'm fine. Ain't gotta go through the
Alright.
tariff and customs and ain't gotta go through all of that.
We're gonna see. But yeah, so we got a lot planned today. We got a lot in store. I don't know if we're gonna cover it all, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna try to like keep it even, not depressed, because we trying to go into the Monday without having the Monday blues. You know what I'm saying? So I gonna even start it off on a positive note. So the question, I guess, and if you're just now tuning in, welcome. Thanks for stopping through A Different Day with Ja and Neci. Go ahead and share the live. Please let people know that we exist. So what the question I'm gonna start it off with, what was the highlight of your week? And the highlight of the week for me was being able for me and my oldest Alyssa to go run our route together, my fellow Libra daughter. It was good because she don't make me laugh. Like, her points of view is it'll be funny to me sometimes, and like the stuff, she's very intuitive and she notices a lot of things. So when she notices certain things, of course, because I'm driving, I can't notice as much. But she was on the job with me. I give her a little paycheck to work with daddy. And like the stuff that she spots and she notices to be funny sometimes.
Example?
Like, okay, I do not look at the mail. I run mail, but I don't look at it at all. I just look at the name and I put it in the box. She'll be like, why this water bill so high? So no, she's not going in the mail. Like over here, right? They send the like water and the sewer bill for Alabama or whatever. It's just a little piece of paper. It's a slip of paper, and it has your balance.
It's not an envelope. It's just a paper.
No, it's just on a slip of paper with two sides.
All your business on a piece of paper.
Yes. So if you pass due, we could see it. Now again, I don't look, but it is open. And
Wow.
so she's questioning why these people past due and all of this, and I'm, girl, I don't know. So it'll be funny to me, like, or she notices funny looking designs, and you know how they send those stuff soliciting, like for things. Like she was just pointing out very things that I would not notice because I minded my business. So, but I enjoyed that. That was the highlight of my week. What was the highlight of your week? Please tell me you had something good happen. Please, something. Nothing.
I was off on Monday.
Well, so you kind of get your 2 days, right? You get your 2 days, just not in a row.
Well, because remember we was off last week, so I wasn't here, and then so I came back Monday.
Okay.
So I was off Monday.
So you had a long weekend.
But you flying days shouldn't count. Like you know how it is when you have to fly. You know how it is when you have to fly. Even though you're on a plane sitting down, it's still taxing on your body. Like being there, somebody sneezing, who coughing, a child. Like just being in an environment, going through the airport, the TS, like all of it is just a lot.
True.
So then I did come home, get myself a little ready for work the next day, and then try to relax most of the afternoon. It didn't work how I intended, but I did get to relax some, so I'll take it. But like we had a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was our added stuff. So it's not like I went into like a soft week either. So whatever relaxing happened on Monday was out the window.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering or I'm romanticizing it, right? But flying used to be an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't it used to be cool? Oh,
when
I'm tripping.
Used to don't have no seat belts and everybody just in there having a good old time. Yeah, it used to be. It used to be.
When people could smoke, it's
yeah. Drinking was the norm. Like
and like they used to give you meals, and it wasn't extra. They used to give
everybody
you meals.
ate.
Things have changed. Gentleman Style says, my highlight this week is our practice now accepts Aetna better health insurance. Hey,
congratulations!
Like congratulations, man! Congratulations. Let me find the clapping thing for that because that's big. Congrats.
Because people don't need it. People don't need it, but they're gonna really need it.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that even has health insurance still, because that will lead us into our first topic of the day. As you know, there has unfortunately been a government shutdown. We are in day 5. The government shut down October 1st. It's now October 5th. And estimates suggest that approximately 750,000 federal employees have been furloughed during the government shutdown. And with the government shutdown, people are kind of in limbo, and they're, the Dems blaming the Republicans blaming the Dems, blah, 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 blah. Same thing that happens all the time. However, the shutdown is over healthcare, which to me, this seems like a valid fight, because the Dems are wanting to continue subsidies that are going to expire in January, and the Republicans are against that. Now, if millions of people are going to get kicked off of healthcare in a country like ours, I think it's kind of dire, and it's something that we need. But let us know how you think in the chat. So that's where we are. We're at the government shutdown, day 5. Gentleman Style said, I went out and voted this week for a local gubernatorial state senate. That's Virginia. So did they already say who won? I'm assuming, or how does that work with the special elections?
Or was it early voting? Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Tell us how that works. I do have some good news though. First, we want to commend this young man by the name of Julian Brown on Instagram. He's known as Nature Jab. This young Atlanta man has actually built from scratch with donations and everything a machine that turns plastic waste into usable gasoline. He calls it plastoline. So now this is him debuting it. Check out this video.
Plastoline 2023 Scat Pack right here. It's all to eat. She's gonna try to start it to show we got no fuel in this thing.
Everybody, move back some. Move back. It ain't starting up.
Here we go.
History in the making, baby.
Plastoline.
Okay. I think that's it.
All right, we think that's it.
All right.
All right, it's empty.
Hey, are you scared?
I am.
No, have some faith. You got it.
I got faith.
All right.
I'll start it.
Hit it.
Hit it.
After years of, he invented something, put together the machine, and after years of showing us live his failures, his successes, and everything, it works. Did you hear that engine roar to life? Ooh, chills. I love to see it. We must protect that man at all costs. They're about to attack that man. They have been. They already have been, actually.
Once
So
he
I
has
hope-
everything patented to his name, I don't want any harm to come to him, but it's his. They can't take it from him.
I hope it's already, I hope it's already been at least put in the works. So the patent process are not them thing to take long to him.
Yeah, but once he's filed his paperwork to get it all done, yeah.
Plastoline works, so there you go. Shout out that man. Yeah, hey, that's huge. A young black man in Atlanta, against all the doubt and everything, from scratch, built it, and it works. I hope it's already patented, says Gentleman Style, us too. He needs to get a provisional patent. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. And I hope he gets security as well. Even if he needs to take donations, he needs to get it, because I don't know if you know, but look into what happened to the guy that invented the car that ran off of water. So plastoline works. And now on to the next person we want to shout out, because we like starting things off on a good note, keeping it live, and we love our Virgin Islanders that are doing big things. So we want to shout out Keoka Gums, local educator, a second grade teacher at Joseph Gomez Elementary School, has released her debut children's book, Kai and the Time Traveling Lunchbox. The story marks the beginning of the Adventures with Kai series, written to reflect the lives, culture, and heritage of Virgin Islands children. In his first adventure, Kai discovers that his ordinary lunchbox holds the power to take him on incredible journeys through time. I wanted my students to see themselves in the pages that they read, both in the imagery and story details. So often, their stories are about faraway locations. This book immerses them in the places and cultural features that they are familiar with. I want kids to feel proud of who they are, curious about the past, and excited to see themselves in the pages of a book, Gums said. Set across iconic local landmarks included Fort Christian, Coral World, Megan's Bay, and Emancipation Garden in St. Thomas. This children's book highlights the natural beauty and historical richness of the Virgin Islands. One of the missions of this series for Gums is to foster pride among local readers, with hopes of this story extending the powerful stories of Caribbean culture worldwide. So there it is. Hey, shout out that local educator also for creating, publishing, and having a book there for our students to see themselves in it, because that's very important as well. So shout out Keoka Gums. Big up, big up, big up. Neci, you're out of it. You were staring at you.
No, I said my screen paused, and I'm like, wait, and then it's like, and then I could hear you still talking, and then it refocused. Congratulations to her and her book.
Shout out Keoka Gums, local St. Thomas educator. We love to see it. Shout out all educators, really, because it's damn near a thankless job, and I don't think they get paid nearly enough to deal with all your bad kids.
They don't.
I need a magic wallet that endlessly print money. Someone write that book. I need that in real life, not in a book. I'm sure the book is already out too. What else you got here? I want to know specifically how you feel about this. Me, as being a former sailor, I have my thoughts, but I'd like to know what the general population feel. The USS Iwo Jima is docked today at the Austin Bay Monsanto Marine Terminal in Crown Bay, St. Thomas. This was a couple days ago. The massive amphibious assault ship is reportedly carrying around 3,700 personnel, including approximately 800 contractors, and will remain in port here for 3 to 4 days. On board are fighter jets, helicopters, and various military vehicles and equipment. Already, the ship has drawn crowds along the waterfront, with locals and visitors alike stopping to admire its sheer scale and imposing presence. Big up the Navy, big up our service members. A lot of them might not even be getting paid right now, but big them up too. What do you think about this?
I think it's a different experience for some of our locals to get to see and experience something they typically wouldn't be able to see. They actually, I think they let them off I think they were off the ship today or yesterday. I just before we started, they were jumping off the dock into the water in drones. So I was like, they must have just let them off the ship. They probably can't wait.
Yeah, that's how it be.
And then you see a lot of them were leaving, like, to go into the port, to go to the shopping area to shop. So it's good for the economy. They're out spending their money. Let's make sure that we are being true to our Virgin Islands roots, providing good customer service to those men and women in uniform, and giving them an authentic Virgin Islands, but it's a Centomian experience, I should say, because they're in St. Thomas. But please don't feed them.
We gotta make certain distinctions that there
are, yada yada. But
watch the pregnancy rate go up. Hey, as long as get that BH, girl. Get that BH.
Don't do it if you don't know who the name tag belongs to.
Hey, what's up? Hey, and also another thing, if you gonna mess with a sailor, you gotta verify, right? Verify if they married. Because damn near everybody in the military married. So check that out.
And the last thing alone don't count. There's many of them.
Don't give them no Saint Tomian food is what I assume he's trying to say. Hey, what's up, Keita? Big up yourself. Keita on the track. Album currently out. Keeping It Together draft season is available on all streaming platforms. Keep that in mind. And speaking of sales, if you look up to the top of your screen, there's a QR code. That QR code is for Caribana 2025, which we have happening November 1st at Ambiance Lounge. We're going to go a little bit into that later, but I just had to put in a shameless plug. Get them TRICARE benefit. You see all that healthcare benefits, you need it. Healthcare benefits, you get the BAH money and you set for life. Or at least for as long as you get a baby. And speaking of babies, wait, first let me show you what the USS Iwo Jima look like so you could get an idea of how big this thing is. This is an amphibious assault ship, right? This was not what I was on. I was on a bigger ship, an aircraft carrier. So imagine, my ship was bigger than this. And this one, look at how massive this is. That brings back so much memories, right? Oh man, that brings back so much memories because like being on the flight deck and looking down, working by the fantail and stuff, looking off. Like I was telling Neci that I'm going on a dolphin tour, and I remember we were out to sea on the carrier. I was out back. I was out in the back looking off, and there were dolphins following the ship. So that was one thing I enjoyed about being a sailor, was the traveling and the views and these memories that I really can't get nowhere else. Now, as for me, like I said, as a person that used to be a sailor, as a former sailor, all I could think about, if you don't know, the United States is currently at war with, we're in another war on drugs campaign, this time with Venezuela. And that's one of the reasons why the ship is docked in the Virgin Islands, because it's basically they're on liberty, which is like leave, shore leave or whatever, in between these deployments and stuff for what they're doing. I agree that it is a great thing for the economy of the U.S. Virgin Islands. However, there's several issues that I have with a U.S. Navy warship being docked in the Virgin Islands. It kind of makes those ports a target. Just like if you're in the middle of a war and you have a fort, like the fort becomes a target, but the stuff around it becomes a target also. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of collateral damage that we don't think about. So yes, the economy gonna get this boost, which I love. I love that for the Virgin Islands. Amen. Great. Show them a great time. You know, sailors love to have fun. I can tell you that firsthand. They're gonna be drunk by the time they touch the dock. So show them a good time, and please be kind. Everyone try to be kind so they have a good experience as well. And you know, the news will get around, I assure you. However, yeah, that's one of my concerns. And there's other people who have some concerns about, like, you know, it's a form of colonization and we need our freedom and all that other stuff. That's a total different conversation in a sense, because the Virgin Islands itself, the location is a part of the reason why the United States invested in purchasing it. That's kind of a reason why the United States and Puerto Rico is are territories of the U.S. So that's another conversation. But yeah, that's my concerns. I'm hoping that my people don't become a target, because you have the United States Navy going against Venezuela, you know, drug cartels, which the whole situation is legally ambiguous because they're not taking any prisoners. There's no investigations and stuff like that going on. You know, they're just blowing up these ships. I think they've blown up at this date, they've blown up 3, if I'm not mistaken. They've blown up 3 suspected drug ships. So you have the cartels with a lot of money that are losing money. And we know from the past, war on drugs, they're not usually very successful. You get what I'm saying? So you have the cartel who's taking on this huge U.S. fleet of ships, which they're obviously outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned by, but they have enough money and resources to do stuff. And if you know anything about the previous wars we've had, if an enemy is outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned, they're going to use guerrilla tactics and stuff like that to get their revenge. We know what that looks like. September 11th was less than a month ago. That's kind of what that looks like. So let's keep that in mind and stop just seeing dollar signs, please. All right, let me get to these comments. Unless you got anything to say on that? Are you muted? Oh, you get muted. You don't mute yourself. Hello?
I ain't even touching the phone.
What the hell? That's wild.
You know how these iPhones are.
We talking about Bad Bunny and President Trump met with the president of Puerto Rico. Is that a topic today? Basically, them folks mad. The usual suspects are mad. Well, I mean, what? Bad Bunny has been chosen to do a concert for the halftime show for the Super Bowl, the upcoming Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I mean, and they mad.
The big man.
But did we not expect that? Anything other than a white man singing about his truck, his dog, and his woman and beer? They're gonna be mad. Like, we know that. I don't listen to Bad Bunny.
The irony of it is, the irony, there's two ironies for me. One, of course, the complaint is they won't be able to understand. And two, the lack of education of people aren't aware of the Puerto Rico being a U.S. territory and complaining that he shouldn't perform because the Super Bowl is an American sport. But you let Rihanna play, she an American. You let
Facts.
Coldplay play, they an American. You two not American. You had Shakira in American. Bruno Mars. I don't even Bruno. Bruno is American. There were like
Just
10 artists in the last couple that ain't American. So it's like, because they're not American, but he speak. So just say that he don't speak English.
Yeah, the weekend.
Don't say he ain't American.
Yeah.
Because only Dr. Dre them performance, Kendrick performance, and him. That's the last three Americans that performed.
Yeah. So that don't even be it. So let's educate them, please. Puerto Rico is a United States territory. He was born a citizen. He was born an American citizen, didn't need a green card, no naturalization, none of that stuff. All of his songs are in Spanish. I don't listen to the songs. I like the vibe. I like the beat. I know the guy performs his butt off. I don't see the problem. I don't speak Spanish.
And then also the NFL is trying to create a global brand. While they have cemented themselves as an American sport with American teams and American fans, they're trying to create a bigger global outreach. Their goal is to be like soccer. I mean, not our soccer, like real soccer. And soccer around the world is a huge international sport. And so that's the NFL's goal, is to reach a global audience. This year, they're also playing the American football players are traveling on planes to international cities to play football, to bring fans the game, to draw a larger crowd. So technically, why are you sending the teams out to play internationally if you're not trying to draw the audience to watch and stream the game?
Exactly.
Now, they were talking about this, like, the Spotify streamers and so on and so forth. In American streaming, I think Bad Bunny is in the top 10 for American streaming for Spotify. And the artist that people are saying that they wish was performing on the streaming platform is the 138th person on the list. So you want the artist that you're rooting for is 130 on the list, and he's in the top 10. He's also in the top 3 globally on Spotify.
Man is a huge
been in the
star.
top 3 the last 4 years in a row, I think it is said. So it's like, why would you not want the biggest Spotify artists to perform? Bad Bunny did 31 shows in Puerto Rico. The first 4 shows was for local residents only. Every single show was sold out. 31 sold out shows, no issues. He brought in over $700 million in revenue to Puerto Rico with his residency. Like, what are we talking about here?
And it's not like there's any violence that happens at his shows, or, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't incite any violence or riots. His music may be controversial, but again, you don't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
And there was a lot of American non-Spanish celebrities who flew down to go see his show, just for the experience, just for the vibe.
I spoke up on
John Hamm is one of them. He makes me laugh every time he talks about the Bad Bunny concert. You would swear this man knows Spanish. He doesn't know any Spanish.
I'm with him.
He was on SNL too.
Listen, I got a couple Spanish songs on my playlist. Oh no, I just like the vibe. Just vibe, baby. That's all you gotta do. I don't relate to you living in your trailer, but there's some songs I could vibe with. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just enjoy. That's all. Or don't watch it. How about that? Just don't watch it. You're there for the game anyway. What's the big deal?
You know, they're
I don't
so
get it.
caught up on him not being American. I wish they all would test the DNA sequence to see how American they be. Most of them half breed. I don't even know it. Because to find a pure white American, it's very difficult. You're quicker to find a pure black person than a pure white person.
You know, there'll be like 0.13%. You know, they have Cherokee somewhere way, way back.
Okay, we won't call it Cherokee, sure.
Yeah, I mean, just vibe out, man. And I knew as soon as they talked about it, it would have been an issue. And I'd also like to clear something up also with the Bad Bunny situation. Like, there's claims that, like, the Dallas Cowboy owner and other football teams have petitioned against him. That's false. All right? Stop believing them things. If you just see it on Facebook, please go ahead and check it first. Because there's a lot of pages that are getting big. And they're getting big off of willfully spreading false information. They'll just make up stuff and post it. So be careful. Now, in regards to this question, can an aircraft carrier even pull into the Virgin Islands? This is in reference to the USS Iwo Jima pulling in. No, it cannot. It would most likely be docked way, way out. And then the sailors aboard would have to be brought to one of the islands from offshore, like smaller vessels. Yeah, good memories, man. Good memories. That used to be a hassle though. Getting up early and getting off your boat to getting to another boat that used to be a hassle. But we had fun. Does this make the Virgin Islands a target? Absolutely. Because remember the USS Cole? You remember it?
No.
All right, let me pull it up real quick. The USS Cole, because that happened some years ago. That was October 12, 2000. So right there on my October 12 was not a good day. My birthday.
We weren't living for the real world yet. We were still partying then.
Yo, that was less than a year before I joined the military.
Yeah, we were.
We were in high school. On October 12, 2000, the USS Cole was severely damaged in a suicide bombing by the terrorist group Al Qaeda while it was refueling in the port of Aden, Yemen. The attack killed 17 American soldiers and wounded 39 others. The ship was repaired and returned to active service, and the U.S. has since taken measures to find and prosecute those responsible. So, yeah, it absolutely does make, because, again, collateral damage is a thing. They might be trying to target that place, but you see 39 others were injured.
You know, I just realized as you said that was a year before you joined. You guys joined a year for 9/11.
Yes. I was in boot camp. I was in boot camp when that happened. I remember it like yesterday.
Yeah, because you said your thing came in and he quit. And it just kind of clicked like that was
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, the man. So quick story time. So how we found out, right? I can't remember what we were doing, but I remember they all had us come, like just broke training, had us come, sit down, you know, what they call crisscross applesauce in front of the TV. They put a TV on and they you know, of course the coverage was everywhere with the planes crashing into the buildings. So we try and find out what's going on, and then they pull in people who had family at the towers or at the Pentagon and stuff to go call them. So I'm looking at this like, what the? I just joined.
Is this a drill? Is this like one of those drills
Yeah,
that you could like? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just joined for the college money. No, we going to war? Yo, let me out. I didn't want to do all this. And I just remember my RDC, recruit drill commander, is what we call him in the Navy. He had his peacoat because it was the middle of September and it was frosty and we were up there in Illinois. So I just remember the door like busting open and he walking through. Everything slowed down, I swear to God. His peacoat blowing in the wind. I don't know where the wind was coming from, and he just walking
Like a
in.
movie.
What? Everything slowed down. I remember it like, this image is just stuck in my head. He had a red hair. And like he used to walk like Popeye the Sailor Man. So he come in there, he get his pipe and everything, All right, boys, I'm going to war. The man really, he found out I'm going to kill me some
Like he was
hotties.
living, he lived for this moment.
Why he been waiting? He said, I'm going to kill me some hotties. And I'm like, God, this happening for real. This man did not take 24 hours to leave. And I'm over here like, man, why should I listen to my mother? Why I sign up for this? Smack dab in the middle of a war zone. They fly me right through it. Free my people from fake articles, Pharaoh. I don't know. It's willful ignorance. That's the problem. Because you'll show them a real article and they still won't read it. That's strange.
You
White
know the
people-
movie? What's that movie with Michael B. Jordan? Is it called Fire something? It's an old movie.
Fahrenheit? No.
Is that the one where they burn the books and stuff?
Yes. Fahrenheit something.
Yeah, we are on the way.
I feel like we there. I'm gonna be honest. We a couple moves away from having thought police, but y'all keep playing. I'm not sure how true it is, but saw a post that the CEO of Coca-Cola threatened to pull his sponsorship from the Super Bowl commercials.
There's been no
False.
truth to that.
False. That is false.
Coca-Cola,
How
Coca-Cola
can you care?
Coca-Cola brand is big internationally, especially in the Spanish community. It is humongous. Humongous. Pepsi only competes with Coca-Cola in the US.
Yeah, it's true. And then make it worse, they don't drink out the glass bottles still. A lot of them.
A lot of them.
They getting the good Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody listening, we talking about Coca-Cola. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember it. The USS Cole, huge military story. It never sunk though. Hey, Jericho, what you saying? What you saying? Did you
Hey,
know Jericho?
Jericho.
That police car driver? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Just found that out.
Coca-Cola. That's why Pepsi bought like between the movie theaters, KFC, Pizza Hut, those places. They have the monopoly with them because that's what keeps them.
Because they have to force
moving.
people to drink.
Yeah.
That's why when you go in there and be like, hey, can I have a Coke? It's Pepsi, okay?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
No.
why you get it.
So this next topic is a topic that Neci has sent a while ago, and she wanted to speak on it. So we were talking about babies, and that's why I was like, speaking of babies, fellas, I think it was week before last when we had the show, we were talking about men going to the doctor. We need to go to the doctor. This includes when you think your tool is not working. If you want children, you're trying to have children and something's wrong, don't just let your woman go. You should go get checked also. Yes, there are tests, because there may be some people who just don't know that that's a thing or it's possible. Just because you're not able to have children, you can't just put it on the woman. This is not Bible times where it's like, oh, she barren. My wife her womb is back.
You
No.
can imagine how much women was scolded because they thought she was barren when it was really the man who was dead on the inside.
Mm-hmm. You know how many kings and throw away wives after wives?
When it's them?
Womb barren. Oh no, it's because you loved your brother. That's why. It's a curse. We're not in them times, you stop. Go get checked. So we're gonna play this video and then we're gonna get into the topic.
Most miscarriages actually are the result of a DNA fragmentation from the sperm.
Dang, that's never talked about. We just
Not.
assume it's something with the girl usually.
Exactly. And these poor women have taken the blame for it for all this time. And it's not something we generally think about. Most guys don't think about infertility. It usually gets blamed on the woman. But let me tell you, the time to think about your healthy contribution as a male and the sperm is not the night that you're conceiving. It's about 7 or 8 weeks prior to that, because that's how long it takes that sperm to mature. I mean, we make 200 or 300 million of these a day, but only about half of them survive. That means 7 or 8 weeks before, no binge drinking, no heavy caffeine use. Moderate's okay, as is moderate alcohol intake,
So
actually.
caffeine kills sperm.
Caffeine in high concentrations is toxic. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want to be a slob. If your hormone levels are out of balance, the testes are dependent on a certain concentration of testosterone within the testicle, not just circulating. And if that gets impaired, then you're in trouble. And most guys don't think about their contribution. But
Most people don't even know if their sperm's healthy, so that's good advice for just anyone.
Even morning sickness is caused by the man's sperm quality. So, man, it's our fault. We need to be more healthy. You got to be more intentional. If you know you want to have a baby, I say even 3 months before, bro, go healthy, take a vitamin. Same way women do as well. You know, women be taking folic acid and all that when they know.
Men don't, you know.
They don't.
They
Oh,
think
man,
they
you just been just busting out and that's it.
think folic acid is only for women.
Nah, but the stuff
Man,
we
it's
can
like,
take,
I
energy,
honestly,
iron.
Like even like stress, your mood can kill sperm.
Even sleeping in boxers. You need your balls to breathe. Let the man them breathe.
Let the cock breathe.
Have you even considered, this is a sensitive topic, have you even considered that most miscarriages are caused by bad sperm? Now often, because it's an experience of mine, like I said, it's a sensitive topic, and you know, I've gone through it. So first of all, the woman is the one experiencing it inside of her. So we men need to take this into consideration when we're talking to her. Don't blame her. You're both in it together. That's how you should be looking at it, right? That's why you hear women say, we're pregnant. It's because this is for both of you. So please keep these things in mind. So, but have you ever considered that the cause of a miscarriage or something going wrong could be because of bad sperm? Generally, in society, we don't think like that. It's not a man's first response to go ahead and go get, like Jerica said, go make sure that your swimmers are swimming. That's not the first response. Usually, because women are usually the one going to get tested. They have their annuals and pap smears and all ready. So they'll be the one to go. But what happens when it comes back and it's like, no, everything is fine. Everything checked out. So what are you going to say then? And then, like, you're in your late 20s or something. You know what I'm saying? You're in prime making babies age. You don't think that's strange that you need other things to get up, and you know what I'm saying? To stay hard, you need this, and you're drinking to last longer, and you don't think that's strange, bro? What do you have to say on this topic? Because again, this your submission. What we saying?
No, I wanted to send it because, like you said, there's a lot of men who don't even just do general checkups, period, for themselves to know what's going on with their body. And in terms of women and pregnancy, they're only now, in the last couple of years, looking at men when it comes to questions that they can't answer for women's pregnancy. There's a lot of things that happen with our bodies when we're pregnant that doctors still tell us, like, the body is still a mystery, and, like, we don't have answers for. And they're starting to look at men, DNA and sperm, in terms of how it relates to pregnancies, and beginning to get answers that it does affect a woman's pregnancy. And so while I think it's important for a man to know his status in terms of his health, not just sexually or STDs, but just is your cholesterol high? How is your, blood pressure? Are you diabetic? Are you borderline? Like, where, your glucosamine levels? Like, there are so many other things that should be checked on annually that I think is important. Something that I also tell, like, guys who are at an age where they have to go do their colon test and they don't want to. I don't want no man finger in my banana, but I get it, you don't. But my response is always, do you want somebody to do it once every couple of years, or somebody to do it once every month? Because when you do have it, they check you that often. So it's like, while it's uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable for us too, if you go do your test and you're fine, you don't have to do that test again for another couple of years. Lucky you, what to do? But I think it's important for men to do that, especially if you're trying to have a family, you're working and having a family. if it's not working out, because like my thought would be, if I'm having a child with someone and it's not working out, we're not getting pregnant, the first person I'm sending to get tested is him. Because I don't think men realize that the testing that we have to do is very invasive to determine if we can or can't have a baby. They have one test to do. One is a blood test to make sure you're good. One is your semen test. That's it. The things that we have to do put dye in our body to open up all the vessels to see, and it hurts. And there's so many shit we have to do just to determine if it's us. And I don't mind doing what I need to do, but you have to be on board to doing what you have to do. If that's what we want to do, is have a child for our family. And like you said, like back in the day, how many people, it was the guy and they thinking the woman is barren, and when the woman move on and she gets some baby with the coming out down the road, and then you want to know how she got baby with the coming out when she couldn't give the king a baby. Like, that's what happened. And so, but sometimes they will get pregnant by the coming out and give the king the child, because they know what's going to happen if they can't produce a child for this man.
Exactly.
So, I think it's important for us for men to be having conversations with themselves, trying to find doctors that they can go to get themselves looked at and checked out on their health. If it's not an island, when you go on a trip, plan an extra couple of days to go to the doctor to do your stuff to make sure you're okay. I think it's high time that men start to really get on board with their health. A lot of men are finding out something is wrong with them when it's a little too late, and that's something that we as women is a burden to us because it's too late, and for yourself as well. So I think it's good to know.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything that you said here. Darren says, yeah, we got to take accountability. We certainly do, because we're not going to the doctor like we should. And I just to both sides this thing, I understand your perspective. It's difficult. We don't necessarily have those checkups scheduled like women do. We don't, right? So doing it is another thing we have to make normal. We have to normalize it first. And when you're thinking about going to the gym because you want to get big and brolic, we don't necessarily align with going to the gym and exercising for our health and our testicular health and all of this other stuff, though. We're just wanting abs and a strong chest and big arms. But we don't associate that with maybe you should be drinking water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be this stamina daddy and you're smoking weed, like Darren said, especially the weed fiends and the Henny drinkers. But you need those things to perform, and you don't see nothing wrong with that. Those are not supposed to be performance enhancers. You drink Henny and you're going on like a stamina daddy, and you're a bull in the bed now and all of this other stuff, but you ain't thinking, without this thing I can't perform? Why?
Because what you gonna really tell me? Give you a second, you're gonna say to take 2 puffs of smoke and come back?
The drink numbs you. That's why you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't processing these things. And then, like, don't even get me started on those people who said they don't like the taste of water. I'm already looking at you crazy that you don't like how water tastes. I think the finger test was absolute no. There's a finger test. There's a blood test, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? There's other options. For the prostate exam, men with average risk should discuss prostate cancer screening with their doctor starting at age 50, while men with higher risk factors, like us, always, such as being African American or having a close family history of prostate cancer, should start these discussions at age 45 or even 40. So don't
people
wait.
in our class or our age group should be having those conversations. Yeah.
When you get to a certain age, we'll get your prostate checked. Don't wait. I know it's easy to think, and most people do. When you're in your 20, 21, 25, you think you're going to live forever. You still take care of yourself, man. Great points made. Drink alkaline water. Either sleep naked or wear boxers that utilize a cooling gel for men's testicular health. Don't ask me how I know. Ain't nothing wrong with knowing that, though. Yeah, in the gym, Man be lifting weights and never touch a treadmill or do any cardio. I see it every day. The cardio is important. You try and get big, but you can't run nowhere. Like your heart is weak. I shame in complex with that type of listen. Complex being
That
shame.
test is an absolute. I don't know where you got that from. I'm looking it up.
No, that's what I'm saying. They got others, right?
Yeah. It's still common practice.
But I think that's a I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. They be trying to scare man, you know. Like who is putting out that stuff? Like the STD test for man, right? There's a swab test, which going make man scared already. But did you know there's a urine test, there's a blood test, and the blood test is more accurate?
But the swab test is for something different.
Is it? When you said different, what do you mean?
So like for us, right, as women, we get blood tests done, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
We do a urine test, and we also do a swab. So swab test for the swabbing test for cells, like signs of cells and cell damage, either cancerous cells, signs that something was there, or whatever. The blood test just confirms or denies like where you are on the scale. The swab kind of gives you a more like, did something happen or didn't happen? Like what test I want to use for an example? The herpes test. Like the blood test will tell you if your body has antibodies for the herpes virus, but you have to actually test the sore to confirm that's what you have. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say like, I don't go run, I not no Dr. Neci. Don't let Neci say I don't have something. Don't do that. But the test still is an indicator, right? And then you do further testing as well to confirm certain things. So it's just like that's why there's like, I think there's like herpes 1 and herpes 2, like HPC 1 and HPC 2.
Different simplexes, yes.
Right. And then it's also, as an example, the reason they do further testing is herpes complex is in the cousin family with other things that people normally have, which is like your chicken pox, your eczema, some eczemas and things like that. So that's why they do further testing, because your test could be that, oh, you had chicken pox when you were smaller. Like that's why you have the antibodies in your system and things like that. So it's just like a learning. You have to ask more questions. Hopefully you have a provider that's explaining things to you. And if not, then you need to get a new provider, because that is the point.
Well, Neci need to put on her doctor glasses. She wearing the wrong glasses for this segment, but it's okay. We're gonna Dr. Neci.
Looking up what I'm saying to confirm if I'm saying the right thing or not.
You can't hold her accountable unless you got on the doctor glasses.
I don't have no white coat. I ain't got no name on my shot.
Not yet.
No PhD, DHD, none of the above, okay?
Not yet. But yeah, just overall, men, we need to take care of ourselves. Mental health, our physical health, everything. We need to be focusing on getting ourselves together. The backbone of our community, whether we like it or not, rests on the shoulders of men. We have a burden and we need to be here to take care of it. And I think I'll leave it right there. I think I'll leave that right there on that particular topic. Let's see what else we got today. So I did want to read this. Guys, just bear with me as I read this information regarding miscarriages. All right. Miscarriage is an unfortunate loss during the intrauterine stage with significant legal, psychological, spiritual, and health-related aspects for the expecting parents. It may occur in up to 20% of known pregnancies and is considered the most common gynecological complication and a frequent cause of attendance in the emergency department, which causes significant distress and warrants interventional strategies. Definitions vary, but recurrent miscarriages are mostly defined as consecutive or non-consecutive recurrent pregnancy losses, usually 2 or 3. Let me take that banner off. Gestational infertility can be described as repeated embryo loss after fertilization, resulting in the inability to conceive. Maternal age and previous rate of pregnancy losses have been reported to carry predictive significance in terms of the risk of recurrence. So, if you've had several abortions, that puts you at risk as well. Historically, the male factor has also been implicated as a possible cause. You see, we mentioned him. The story of Henry VIII, King of England, is a phenotypic example that male infertility can manifest in the form of repeated miscarriages. In 11 documented pregnancies with 3 of his wives. 3 wives, 11 pregnancies, and he blamed them. 7 miscarriages or stillbirths were recorded. Overweight by his 30s, Henry's high-energy diet, low in vitamins and fiber, and possibly genetic predisposition have been speculated as obvious causes.
I wonder how many of those wives he went to before they start watching him side eye, like maybe it's him and not the wives. Because it can't be all the wives.
I know
it
young too.
It can't be all the wives.
All of his wives were young. So, but yeah, this man, listen, this man, you know what? Look into Henry VIII, please. This man created an entire religion, so he could divorce his wife. Look into this, please. All of this because he wasn't eating good.
He's a king. What are you gonna do? Sit down?
I don't think I'm gonna go all into the science of it. We good. We good. Y'all get the point, right? So get checked, man. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health, and stop putting all the onus on the women. Go ahead and maybe I ain't telling you to stop your vices all completely, but everything in moderation. All right. Let's leave it there. All right. This got heavy rotation online and had the US VI social media in a tizzy. Minor reports of DV assault led to their mother's arrest at approximately 6:22 p.m. on St. Croix, US Virgin Islands, October 2nd. Criminal Investigation Bureau was dispatched via the Vitima 911 emergency call center to investigate an assault incident. Investigators made contact with a minor who stated that her mother assaulted and strangled one of her younger siblings during an argument. Contact was made with the victim, a minor who sustained visible injuries. Human Services was notified and the minors were removed from the home. Contact was made with the mother, Amanda Gonzalez, at her job, and she was transported to the Wilbur H. Francis Command. Gonzalez, 35, was advised of her rights and declined to give a statement. Gonzalez was charged with assault, second and simple assault, and battery DV. She was booked and no bail was set in this matter until seen by a judge. She was transported to the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility, where she was remanded pending her advice of rights hearing at the Superior Court. Now, we're going to go into this topic, but please, disclaimer. The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of the broadcaster, aka 101.3 Row FM, the United States Virgin Islands #1 radio station. These are solely our opinions. Like Neci said previously, we don't have any doctorates, any degrees, psychology, psychiatry, none of that stuff, not even dentistry. All right? No PhDs whatsoever in the location. We just talking. And for the feds, this is just talk. All right, before they hit me with a RICO, because you never know what's going on. So please.
A RICO easy to charge with these days. Before you have to really prove something to be RICO. Now you could just do anything.
Exactly. They looking to hit people with RICO because you don't like the president. So these is just our opinions going forward, and we do not want to chastise, punish, or weigh in specifically on the mother. The justice system will decide. All right?
Okay.
So what we want to talk about, though, overall, because there's a bigger issue. And when this was released, what bothered me more than the actual acts and that short synopsis, because it's under investigation, was how a conversation started about discipline. Disciplining your child. In the comment section of that same post, right? From VIPD. A lot of what was being said was to the effect of, You can't even discipline no child no more. Well, who if they in my house, whatever I do, they gonna, if I paying the bills, this, that, and the third. Oh, my mother killed me one time and then brought me back how much time? My mom used to hit me with pot spoon, this, that, and the third. I turned out just fine. There was a comment section full of that, and it had me wondering, you know this is public? Y'all saying some wild stuff on here. They're saying that these children had bruises and stuff on them, and one of the children called the police because the child was being strangled. Discipline, guys. So I want to ask the chat, is there a line between child abuse and discipline? If so, what's the line? Neci, do you believe, what is the line? I know you think there's a line. What is it? Where does it start? Or is it as long as you like, I don't know, cuss me out, I could do it. How does it work? If you're taller than me, I could beat you up. How'd that go?
I think culturally, because how we are as a culture, you know, we've been not induced, but we've been acclimated to it. So it's a form of normalcy within our culture that beating or giving licks is okay. And I'm not saying that it's not okay. I'm saying that there's always an extremity to every situation, and there are some lines that shouldn't be crossed. Now, I don't remember hearing how old the child was that you said.
Yeah, they don't tell us. They didn't tell us.
So there's no age to the child, but the mother strangled the child. And then so I don't know the situation. Allegedly, the child was strangled. So I am not here to downplay that the child was not strangled. I'm not here to downplay that it is not domestic violence in its definition of how it was reported based on what we just read. That is exactly what it is. We have no pretext or context in terms of the situation, nor do we require any to change our minds. But sometimes as parents, we have to also see that maybe we do overreact to a response to a situation. Some situations do warrant for you to overreact. Some situations, we need to have more self-control. So I'm not here to blame the child. The mother had no comment to the situation. She's gonna just, I guess, however that plays out, it'll play out. We'll be updated. But I just think that there is a line. It's a flexible line that can move in either direction. But I do think that there's some things that just should be, like strangling. Like, that's something your child is not going to forget. Like, that's a very traumatic experience. And so what happens with the child now? You know, the child will be removed from the home. The child will be placed with somebody that they can trust until the situation is unfolded or investigated properly to determine what's the right outcome. Depending on how long the mom is incarcerated or whatever, she probably lose her job. Like, it's a domino effect. Not that it shouldn't be reported, because I'm not trying to deter anyone from reporting crimes, but there's just a domino effect of sometimes when we react in situations that we never think through all the consequences. And this is just very unfortunate. The line is, like I said, I don't think there's like a hard line. Some people believe in it, some people don't. Some people think there's a balance between both things. Some people, just think the gentle parenting, they thought that was going to be a great idea, and they've backpedaled this year, like gentle parenting don't work. So it's like one of those things. So hopefully the story works out in the best interest of the child, and the child is in a safe situation where they feel loved and heard and rewarded. And so I hope that. I actually thought you was going to read the other story with the mom who burned the child's hand.
Yeah, I was debating, because we have so much stuff, if to put both of those back to back, because that story with the child, the mother burning the child's hand, is horrific. And that's obviously not discipline. That's not discipline, right? But that seemed to slide past. This one is the one that caused like a real stir online, which is why I just went this way, right? I don't know if that's right or wrong, but man, I guess it even confused me. They're debating. I don't know what they're debating. Are you debating if strangling is okay or
no?
I don't know. What are we even saying? And then that one about the mother burning the child's hand, it was not gaining no traction like this one.
It
so
didn't?
No.
That's crazy.
It really wasn't. Because
I would think that would be the one that had more traction than this.
Bruh.
Because that child actually had to be flown away for second-degree burns.
I gave it on my phone. A lot of people seem to don't understand the difference between discipline and abuse.
Correct.
You don't know the difference between discipline and abuse. And the sad part with the comments is they're not realizing that they were abused and they normalize it. That was a big thing that I took from it. With you saying like, my parents did this to me and look how I turned out. What we don't seem to realize is sometimes you turned out okay, quote, air quotes, okay, right? Despite what you were despite what you were put through, not because of it. It was not because you were abused that you turned out to be such a good person. It's in spite of it. Because me personally, I think to myself, the person that I might have been had I have not been treated the way that I was. I'm gonna tell a quick story, and I know I don't like to go into I ain't gonna even tell you which parent, but one of my parents, right, came home one day, and if you're sensitive to this type of thing, here's your trigger warning. You could go ahead and look away real quick and come back when I tell the story. So one of my parents came home. One of my parents came home from work. They used to wear work boots for this job and, had the big work belt and all of that stuff. Came home, was angry from work, came in visibly upset, told me, don't say nothing. That's how they greeted me at the door. Okay, cool. I had karate practice later on, right? So I had done clean up the whole house, clean up their room and everything. Me, yes, my parent had already just told me, don't tell me nothing. I ain't want to hear nothing. But me, being a child, very excited to let my parent know that I had cleaned up their room and to see how they feel about it, still went and told my parent, hey, bam, knocked me down, literally stepped on my chest with their boots. Was that discipline? So me, I had to take that whooping, right? And mind you, hear what it was for me going to tell my parent what I did for them. You think I ever did that again? You think I don't remember that to this day? You don't think that burned me in my chest and gave me all types of anger and, you know what I'm saying? And then these be the parents, right? After they do these things to the child, want to apologize or say, I love you and all of that. But y'all be confused when your child don't want to talk to you later in life. Why my child don't want to be able, because you used to bang them. Or you wonder why that child is in abusive relationships. They're familiar with those types of relationships that you introduced them to. You were the toxic person in their life. You introduced them to them things. That type of love is familiar to them. But y'all be confused. You beating your child like they're an adult. Banging them like somebody you just met off the street. But you wondering why the love ain't there. You know why it's so normal? The lack of diagnosis when it comes to mental health, whether it's a child or the parent that goes undiagnosed. Facts. You know what's also an issue too? these things have been passed down.
Mm-hmm.
They are generational curses because they were passed down from slavery days to us and got passed down as a way to control and quote unquote discipline unruly children and you get what I'm saying? It was a form of control that was passed down and we keep passing it down. But the truth is, this should not be your first resort. This should not be your first resort to get through to your child though. That'll be a problem a lot of the times. You ask a Caribbean parent what to do with an unruly child, and that's their first resort. Beat them. I did fine. I'm fine. Yet, our generation is finally stepping up and really trying to break those generational curses with our children because of what we've been through. But somehow you turned out okay. Then why are you trying to break that cycle then? If it really did work, why are you trying to break that tradition? These are the things we need to start asking ourselves, people. And again, I'm not judging that lady specifically. This is a culture. This is a part of the Black culture, of Caribbean people culture. They will hit you with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I find this thing then. But you had anything else you wanted to chime in with on that?
No, I think you made a good point. And not again, but sorry you experienced that, because that is very traumatic. I have my own stories, I'm sure. I have Caribbean parents. And like you said, those are things that are passed down from slavery time, where just looking at a white person incorrectly could cost you your life. And that's the way things that they teach you. They discipline you for you to not be, we have to be disciplined by them in a sense. But at some point we do need to start breaking down a lot of these generational things that we subconsciously, inherit without even noticing, and, trying to have those barriers broken. And while we're breaking them, we have to build new ones. Because you can't wait to break down the wall before you build something else new, or you always feel like you're in a labor-intensive experience. You have to feel like there's some type of fulfillment within the experience as well. So while you're breaking the curses, you have to start to plant the new positive reinforcements, the stronger rooted, grounded family values that you want to be instilled, the coping mechanisms, the video we posted the last time where the kids were meditating in the school and they're no longer disciplining and they put them to meditate to kind of help them through their feelings and expressing their feelings. Like that is breaking a generational problem by fostering a positive reinforcement. And so we have to do that with our kids. Somebody's tearing down. They need a little root up, not a domestic violence, but they don't try.
So I want to make it clear for myself, right?
But I'm just
gentle parenting.
I'm lightening the mood.
Gentle parenting is for gentle children.
Gentle parenting. People say in gentle parenting no more. It don't work. The theory done dead.
Listen, gentle parenting is for gentle children. If you get some no limit soldiers, you need to deal with them accordingly. Now, I am not saying. Like, if your child is posting gun fingers and stuff, deal with them differently. I'm not saying get them time out. I'm also not saying burn their hands though. No. Please find a middle ground, please. Because a lot of them no limit soldiers, they acting like you. That's where they came from. That's why they're throwing up signs. That's you.
I'm watching them kids on TikTok, and they'd be like, "Oh, it's cute now how you're recording and posting," but that's gonna be a problem when they all that a little talk back thing video you post again. You all them likes and views, and you probably get monetized and you get paid for. I hope you're saving that money because you're gonna need it later.
Facts. You're gonna need it for bail when little June pop. Listen, please, please discipline your children and don't wait. Like Neci's saying, I just see it all the time, and everybody laughing and joking. The baby cussing, the baby pulling up the Nerf gun. Like, listen, I see one woman riding along with her God be 5-year-old and he pretending is he spinning on the ass. The man, you get your child doing drive-bys, pretending that not cops are robbers, you know. He pretending he's spinning on the ass. You raising little King Von and you think this a joke? Please, please, discipline your children. Discipline them. Don't abuse them. And we need to learn that. We also need to learn how to communicate with our children, because these ones that are coming up are very smart. They have access to the internet and all of them things. They're a lot more emotionally intelligent than we were. I could say that.
And then stop having them know how to do TikTok videos, how to post and edit, but they can't set spelling name. They could do more than one thing at once. They could do chores at home, keep their room clean, put the clothes in the back. They could do stuff.
Exactly.
If they know how to work the tablet from front to back, make sure you power on the charge when the battery pop up, declining my calls when I calling you to keep watching the video, they can do other things. But yes.
If their favorite color is 5, please invest more time into them learning the books than learning the latest hip hop song, please.
There was a teacher in, I don't think it was Florida. I think it was, maybe was it Atlanta? That was saying that this is her first year of kindergarten students that have come in that is below the level they should be.
Yeah.
Majority, she said more than 60% of them don't know the basics. And that's scary that we're getting to that place. So
that's a whole nother topic that we need to get into also, because like the school system and like Head Start, they try and get rid of Head Start, and that's a whole thing. That's a whole
they want robots. They don't want thinkers.
They want factory employees. One of the biggest problems we have in the VI is emotional regulation, including me. We all can stand to improve on it. Too many people are in jail or in Kings Hill because of it. We have islands full of crash outs, and we encourage it too often. We enable it too often. It's not a good thing, especially when we're misdirecting that fire towards our fellow man or woman. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put that fire towards the administration that's literally taking money out of your pocket, won't give you a working hospital, won't fix your roads. If we're going to be crash outs, how about we crash out for better things? Not because, oh, she dating this person and this stupidness. Thank you for sharing this, Ja. I appreciate you for being vulnerable with this. Thank you. It's not easy, but I think these stories need to be told. Even though somebody gonna see it and be like, what were you doing? You probably deserved it. No, you ain't tell all the story. This might be a bit controversial, but I think society is unable to identify women as abusers. That's true. There was a lot of women giving her praise and support. She will have her day in court to see if her alleged abuse is real. But there is a double standard, because we know the narrative would be different if it was a man. And I agree with you 100%. Because even in the court system, we know she will not get, even if they find her guilty, if this was a man, chances are her term will be a lot shorter. The court system, like when it comes to women with like sexual abuse and abusers and stuff like that, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right.
No.
Attempted blank is not discipline. No, it isn't.
No.
I didn't find it. I probably deleted it because I'd be trying to keep space on my phone, but I didn't find the other one. I bet it's in there still, and I just didn't see it. All right, next topic affecting us in the Virgin Islands is GERS, because this recently came out this week. The Government Employees Retirement System says it's short another $21.7 million on this year's RUM-funded payment. Now with Governor Albert Bryan Jr. signing a law that blocks the board's planned employer contribution hike it's not clear what will fill the gap. The jurors system announced Wednesday that it has once again received less than promised from the matching fund special purpose vehicle, underscoring how shaky rum revenues have left the pension system vulnerable despite a recent federal win. In an email statement, GERS Administrator Angel Dawson said the October 1st debt service payment from the Public Finance Authority fell short by more than $21.7 million. Combined with shortfalls in 2023 and 2024, the system has received $112.2 million less than pledged under the indenture of trust. Those who thought that the rum excise tax cover over rate being permanently set at $13.25 per proof gallon would guarantee promised funding to jurors should note that it was not made retroactive by Congress as was hoped, Dawson said. The pension system has relied heavily on revenues from the federal rum excise tax. Those funds, known as cover over revenues, are collected on every proof gallon of rum produced in the Virgin Islands and sold on the U.S. mainland, then remitted to the territory. In 2022, the government scrutinized those revenues by creating the Matching Fund Special Purpose Vehicle, a financing structure that issues bonds backed by future rum cover over receipts. The idea was to stabilize GERS by directing between $82 million and $158 million annually into the system for the next 30 years. But the payments have been unevenly distributed according to jurors, with smaller amounts front-loaded and larger ones later in the schedule. Coupled with declining rum sales and Congress's decision not to make the new $13.25 cover over rate retroactive, the SPV has already delivered less than anticipated. Dawson pegged the losses at $34 million in 2023 and $56.4 million in 2024. To shore up funding, the Jurors Board of Trustees last September voted to raise the employer contribution rate from 23.5% to 26.5%. The increase was initially scheduled for January 2025, but was postponed after Brian warned in a November 2024 letter that it would be unsustainable without clarity on rum revenues. In June, the board reaffirmed the hike for October 1st, citing its fiduciary duty. The legislature quickly stepped in. Last month, senators passed a measure amending Title III of the Virgin Islands Code to strip the board of authority to unilaterally increase contribution rates. The bill not only requires legislative approval for any future hikes, but also resets the employer contribution rate at 23.5% for fiscal year 2026, which could nullify the board's October increase. On Wednesday night, Brian confirmed to the source that he had signed the measure into law. While stopping short of prescribing next steps, he suggested the responsibility could now rest with lawmakers to help address the shortfalls since they have assumed control over how contribution rates are set. For Dawson, the debate reflects a larger crisis. Now that the board has been summarily stripped of that statutory authority, the countdown towards insolvency has begun. He said Wednesday, citing actuarial forecasts at project depletion between 2033 and 2039. So once again, it sounds like GERS is on its way to insolvency again. And is this something like you don't have no choice but to pay in, right? From what I understand. So, oof. All right. Well, that's that on jurors. So that's your latest update.
They've made a lot of bad financial decisions with using the GRS money, and now it's like this is the issue. This is why we're short for like. If this is the first time they've made the rum cover over rate permanent, is because it fluctuates from year to year. You don't know what you're gonna get until they do it. So while I understand you wanted it retro, a lot of the bad financial decisions that they made is a hindrance, because people are supposed to be able to go in and be able to use loans and against the money that they're putting into the system. And now you're telling me I can't do nothing because you got shot foul. And then that's my fault. but not my fault, but there's a shortfall and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. And now you try and raise the employer contribution. Jerica says, I thought it was solved forever. Correct.
Right.
The 11.5% does hit hard, man. I bet. So if they help me out, chat. So if they raise the employer contribution, does that raise your contribution too, or what? Because that, man, if that's how it works, then my God, it's best you be unemployed forever, like Cardi B. Yeah, clearly it's not fixed forever. Like, was it fixed? Because they've been short for years. So when did they fix it? My God. And then they were talking about the land. They got land sitting there that they were talking, man. Every money problem is not a lack of money problem. Bad management, bad decision making, terrible structure, etc. Sounds like that's the USVA government theme song. And then make it worse, Gen Z drinks the least out of all the generation. Are we wanting more rum? Wait. Are we wanting more alcoholics? What is that? I hope to not. I will quit there and then. Is that what's going on? Like, the future is based on alcoholics? Please.
So I don't think Darren it's not based on what you drink per se. It's based on the volume being shipped out that people will consume. So if you're, as an example, like if Ja has Ja Tequila, and Ja Tequila says that we ship 1 million proof gallons of rum a month, that percentage is based on the what you shipped out, because you're shipping it to be bottled and sold, and
like
people will consume it, right? People will consume.
Yeah.
Now it also based on supply and demand. So if you're doing like 1 million steadily, 1.5, and then you drop down to like 700 proof gallons, that means that your demand for your product means that people aren't drinking as much product. So the request to get the same volume from you has changed because they have more products sitting and not rotating per their SKUs. So it's not technically they're not technically counting what a person drinks, but it's really about the demand for how much you're shipping for the demand that you're trying to meet.
I got you. What I'm trying to say, if they drink less rum, then the demand will affect. Yeah, y'all saying the same thing. We got you. Yeah, we all know. I was kind of confused. Like, wait a minute, this is how much VI people drinking, County?
No, exactly. So that's why I said it that way, because it's not like what VI people drinking.
The market is wider, and there are more small batch breweries, wineries, tequila. I ain't even stop doing that.
There's a lot of competition out there.
Thanks for breaking it down, Neci. So overall, though, demand is going down
across a lot of the spectrums.
Here's some good bad news. You know when alcohol consumption goes up? During recessions and depressions, which it looks like that might be coming next. So hey, fingers crossed.
I don't think that's going to happen if that happens this time.
You don't think so? You think it's going to go down? Interesting.
I'll give you 3 reasons. Only because one, your typical winery dispensaries are imported from a lot of those other countries that they don't want to import things from. That's your first thing. So your low cost produce is not going to be imported because all the other countries are counter tariffing your tariff system that's being put in place. So that's your first problem. 2, a lot of the wineries, specifically, a lot of people who work those are your immigrant workers or your alien resident individuals who work those low performing jobs for us to enjoy certain of those benefits. And because of this whole ICE rating situation, they're not being reported to work to these type of jobs. So you're having crops that are failing at a high rate as well. And thirdly, because there's so much competition and people have so much choices as well, it's become so much easier to make a batch of something on your like mixing things to make something, and they're making a lot more non-alcoholic beverages for people who want to be able to partake but not have alcohol, that are doing really, really well. And so if I can get the feel but not the buzz, people would probably take the feel and not the buzz. Like I don't have the crash out of the alcohol, but I have I have the feel. So I don't, because of the tariff situation with a lot of these things that's becoming a problem. I don't usually, I would agree, yes it would, but I don't, if it does, I will be surprised, honestly. But I'm already like, I do logistical shipping, and I see the change in like numbers for shipping things already, and it's like it's a thing.
Is the demand going up, going down, or staying stagnant?
So certain areas the demand is pretty, it's going up, but not by a high volume. A lot of it is stagnant, but once things become stagnant, they start to end on the downfall anyways. So there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for failure in terms of the decline. A lot of the new younger incoming adults don't drink how we or the generation before used to drink. They're drinking far lesser and more non-alcoholic products.
Like the cut water type stuff, not necessarily rum.
Right. Like last year's basketball team that won the championship didn't drink, like there's usually like alcohol that a company sponsors and the champagne and stuff. They didn't even drink a case of champagne. You know, they beat it, popping all the bottles in the room. Somebody had to show them how to open the bottles. And they popped like 6 bottles to like woo, and it was done. You know, we'd have beat it a whole pallet empty. And we didn't have
guzzling.
And then so there was a reporter who reported on it that she's usually in the locker room for celebration. That was the first time in her life she's ever seen a celebration like that, where she said, but before, like, she said like by 1 o'clock, most of the team had already left to go home, and they didn't even go to like after party to celebrate after parties. So just to think of the transition that's happening.
Okay, that's good for lifespan. I guess bad for anybody selling liquor. I can't remember who said it, but somebody has said that I don't want to see no more bars, and I second that motion.
I do.
No more bars.
I third in.
We good. The Virgin Islands is good. It don't need no more bars. Just start. Oh, there it is. Gentleman says, I don't think the Virgin Islands need more bars. We need to go another direction. For real. You get too many bars and too many gas stations.
I agree. I think what people need to have more of is, or to turn,
Facts.
like if you already have a bar, you need to turn your bar into like an experience where you can say like, hey, you know, this weekend, a month, we'll be doing like a tasting experience. So, because people usually don't know what they want to drink unless you just already a hardcore drinker, you know what you like. People go in there and you ask them what they want and they be like, what do you recommend? A lot of that is happening more than ever before because they don't know. So I think like introducing people to different like brands and different like products is like, I think it's a good way to draw people to your store, having like special drinks already made that they can just try samples from to see if they like this type of beverage or that type of beverage. And then of course, if somebody likes something in a sample, then more than likely they'll buy a drink to try the drink. So
no more bars. We got more bars.
You know what?
He said it. I didn't say it.
But yeah, so. But I just think that it's like you could have your bar and have your bar first. Men are gonna go to bars and drink because they want to after work and they want to detox and unwind. When they want to watch sports, they want to be able to just watch your sports and have a good drink and a banter with somebody. Like that will always be a thing. But I don't think you need more bars. I think you need to be more creative with your bar.
there's a new non-alcoholic vodka alternatives. As far as the experience thing you said, I have noticed that at least on St. Thomas, because I don't be on St. Thomas, at least on St. Croix, I don't be on St. Thomas or St. John. There's an experience that is missing from the bars for real. Like, you know how you go to the Bahamas? If you've ever been to the Bahamas and been inside seeing your frogs or something, that's an experience. That's a little different. That adds some stuff that's not just a bar. You know what I mean? So I don't recall anywhere home being like that. But you could say, like, yeah, we're going to turn up for real and be dancing in a conga line and all type of thing. I don't know any like that. Too many of the same bars, same drinks, same configuration, same music. Thank you, ambiance, for the new vibe.
Right.
I'm glad y'all saying it. So to be clear, I'm not saying it. All right. Airbnb had to make the same shift. Airbnb is now adding experiences. Yep. And they should have been did that. They should have been offering like tours and stuff aligned with the state. They should have been doing that. Like an excursion, like what a cruise does.
Yeah. Because then people renting out their basement and thing is not an experience.
Crystal Thomas, I've tried the alt vodka and alt tequila. It's pretty cool. So what do you get out of these alt drinks? Like, so you do get a buzz, or it's just you drinking tequila for the flavor? Don't sound right to me. So what is I getting for that thing? I was dancing to salsa and ambiance last night. All right. Oh, we had mentioned the government shutdown. I gotta show you this video because it's ours. About currently we're experiencing a government shutdown. We had spoke that we're in day 5. Did you also know that the Republicans and Trump and them are concocting to use it for alternative reasons? Like now they're just being devious with it. Check this out. Yo, Donald Trump is now plotting on ways to use the government shutdown to further hurt federal employees by permanently getting rid of them, and 2, to own the libs.
We could do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way.
Yeah, so they're trying to, like, okay, first of all, the government shutdown, there's estimated to be 750,000 federal employees that are affected by it. No, he just, besides the memes that this man is posting, which I miss the days when our presidents didn't do memes.
Our previous presidents used to do that?
I miss the days when they didn't.
He's the only one that used to do it, wasn't he?
He is. This man doing jib jabs and like stupidness. I missed it. Obama, they were mad because he wore a tan suit. Now look where we are. So he get a federal shutdown affecting 750,000 workers, and now he talking about maybe we should cut more. And you know there's no plan behind it. And then the job creation is already in the negatives. So, I mean, what are we doing?
But but you see, I think I hope people are paying attention to the distraction for the misdirect. Because while I feel 2 ways about a government shutdown. I feel like the Democrats should just let them people do what they want to do with the healthcare and do so. You want to see what it's about? We're going to all see what it's about. Now, that's not fair because people's lives are at hand with this whole healthcare thing. So that's why I don't say it firmly, but I wish that if it wasn't going to affect people's outcome of their health, they would have let them do it. And secondly, with this whole thing, have you seen that he's launched Trump PX?
Trump what? Trump
Which
what?
is now a website that you can buy pharmaceutical drugs for low cost.
Wow.
So I'm gonna take care because his problem is it's called Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act. He wants a Trump care.
Wow.
So he can say, I saved you people from the turmoil that I created. That was somebody else created, but I didn't create it. But I'm gonna save you. There is a Trump.
Should have seen that coming. Should
website.
have seen that coming.
I saw it coming.
Should have seen it coming. Oh,
I had no proof it was coming, but I saw, and what is it? Pfizer? I think they're working with Pfizer to put the Pfizer drug list on the, so Pfizer can lower their prices. Because when Mark Cuban did it for his website, it was a problem because Pfizer couldn't lower their prices in the US and blah, 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 blah. So Mark Cuban has his website where they sell drugs, prescription drugs of low cost, but it's not through an insurance company because once you use your insurance, there's a high markup through the insurance that the companies use. But it's much cheaper to buy it like that. He's doing a Trump PX.
Thanks for enlightening us about that. Because like I said, I should have seen that coming. That's his move. Like, cause an issue, then sue him and make it seem like he fixed what he. I mean,
come to my website to get your meds since you no longer have a affordable care. The Democrats didn't want to give it to you. Yeah, come over here.
Being employed by the federal government is abusive at this point. The employees are on a crazy roller coaster.
Very.
Referring to the bars in St. Croix, and those bars, like Senior Frogs, be blasting the music so dang loud, gotta holler my orders like I try and talk to St. Thomas. Don't worry, the bartenders will ignore you anyway. I don't know what's louder, outdoor bars or them man with their roach speaker sets projecting out their cars. Hey, calm down on the sets. Jerica Jarvis, not when they're waking up the whole neighborhood and the sound don't even sound clean.
True.
I'm a former step man, but nowhere to that extreme. A few speakers and a good amp is what I used to have. I agree with the ones that don't sound good.
Darren was a step man. I would have never thought.
Has same difference switched over to TikTok US? No, and we probably will not.
I do not plan to.
And why you blasting music at 11:39 p.m. when people trying to sleep? Yeah, that TikTok US thing. I'm not downloading TikTok again. Like, you know what's crazy? The fact that I trust Chinese TikTok over US TikTok is wild.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. Because I know it's not me and my information that they really want. Like, that's not what they're snooping through my TikTok algorithm for. We know what China's snooping through the algorithm for. It's not us. But we know America gonna be snooping through our algorithm for. It is us.
Yeah, they're gonna find out my age, my ancestry, and all of that. But okay, I'll that's like a census. But America really just try and dig into everything and push out this. Man, listen, Xi Jinping could have it, but America TikTok, no. Matter of fact, TikTok don't pissing me off. It don't feel like they switched over already because the algorithm had changed, and then there's a whole bunch of fart. I don't like it. You're gonna have to make the change. One have to. You know, it's a choice. It's a choice, you know. Who gonna listen? I know we under a dictatorship. It hasn't been made formal yet, but you know, Trump talking about making his own coin.
I saw that too.
I don't think it's wild in this day. It is though, because I'm old enough to remember when China was not trusted. Matter of fact, that's where this whole argument come from. They said China isn't trustworthy. Then Joe Biden got on TikTok. Like, I remember how this whole thing started. I remember when Russia was a clear and present danger. I remember when China was the enemy. We ain't in none of that thing. I remember when punching a Nazi was like, okay. These days are different. Only thing we have to do is kick the bucket and pay taxes.
Because you got pay tax on the bucket and then the energy you use to kick the bucket.
And the casket. Yes, don't forget. Just yeet me in the hole, man. Wait, don't start this. This thing that pissed me off.
And did you see that Elon Musk he reached 500 billion?
Billion what? Dollars?
His net worth.
So he lost 100 and gained 2? Damn.
Man over there silently just reaccumulating his wealth. You notice he been quiet for a little while?
Yeah, but it shows that Americans, like, we really have a short attention span, you know.
Short attention span, yeah.
Because not too long ago, they were burning Teslas.
This should still burn them.
She didn't mean that. So, she didn't mean that.
Why? The battery alone is $20,000 if your battery goes bad.
Elon out there playing real life Monopoly. Well, I guess he done had money. He started out with a lot more money than all of us.
Man can't even go back to his home country.
Anyway, I ain't want to talk about this, man. He gonna depress me. Somebody else that is depressed. Hey, I know I have been seeing recently that also Nicki Minaj and Cardi B have been going back and forth. They've been like nothing is safe. They've been dissing each other's kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
kids.
Yes. Nicki came out and said that started calling Cardi's daughter Culture Vulture and had
Vulture?
like a picture. Yes. Called her Vulture instead of Culture.
Because her husband wants her and he can't have her.
Oh boy. And had an image of some teeth as a grill and said this was Culture's grill. Then Cardi came out and said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Your husband ain't allowed around any of these. And it's like a picture of a playground, elementary school. Then she said, Nicki Minaj, she mad because her son's favorite color is 5. So everybody been game.
This is this week?
Yes.
Well, I was under a rock, so
yeah, it's this week. It's been crazy. However, I do want to send I just want to send a request. So people check on the Barbie, please. She's not okay. She's not okay. The video I'm about to show you is very disturbing to me. And it makes me wonder what's going on for real. Has the pressure finally broken, Nicki?
One day, they're yelling, push. You're in pain. Then one day, it comes out a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory.
Woo!
if that's like not a cry for help, I
don't know what it is, right? Yeah. That's scary. Y'all listen, check on her, please. Put up the disclaimer quick. Oh, I got you. The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of the broadcaster. It was too late because he already talking about boy fire to Neci drinking that vodka tonight. I want to know, what does the alt vodka do though? Nicki and Cardi B need to grow the F up. But I blame their fans. No kind of accountability and heap of stands throwing gas on the fire. Facts. It's been wild. The Cardi and Nicki beef been wild. Nicki was coming down from a snow high. She got that good stuff, but why is she recording? Sis need therapy. She needs something. I think she's going through a lot, and that disturbed me. So please, if you're a fan of Nicki, please make sure she's okay.
I will just say too, like, if you're a fan of Nicki, make sure she's okay. But if you have a Barbie in your family, in your life, in your girls group, if you have whatever, like, check on them too, because I'm just saying, like, people be going through things and they don't outward ask for help.
True.
And so it's just that I'm just saying, like, she does need help. I hope people have went to her, have surrounded her, have tried to get her into the place she needs to be. But we all might have someone that we can just check on, or that we think we should check on and maybe cross our mind. Do that too.
Facts.
Like genuine. Don't just be like, how you doing? And they say, okay, and then you move on. Like, no, like really check on them.
Cardi B,
That,
so
to me, that's an escalation. That's
Yeah.
not where that started. You know what I mean?
Cardi B sold out on Spotify though, and album sales are up. Did I miss Aisha convo? I ready for it. You see, I wasn't gonna bring it up today.
But we did
because-
that the week before last, I think.
Yeah, but more has happened.
Something.
I
had to
Yeah, yeah.
try to just.
She just needs to shut up. So, the Shade Room, like, there's been a TikToker, right? So this is how I don't like it, because of how much fire Steph is under for her not shutting up. So a TikToker who gets a lot of views anyway commented on it, right? Then Killer Mike comments on that comment, and then Steph Curry has to step in to defend his wife. So yeah. A lot has happened this week, but we're gonna do a podcast on it, or I don't know if Neci want to be a part of it, but I'm planning to do a podcast on it, because it's deeper than just her. It's the fact that women are enabling it, and I know for a fact if it was reversed and Steph was doing what she does, they would be roasting it. They will be flaming this man.
I did see Killer Mike had apologized to Steph Curry,
yes.
but I didn't know it was I didn't know it was what in regard to any, like, I thought it was
Yeah.
just like some basketball something he said. So I
Nah.
didn't look into what the reason was he did that.
Nah, because the TikToker, tell you the truth, the man them is on Curry's side, right? Basically, like, they don't like how she's doing it and embarrassing him. But again, he has to defend his wife. So she's putting him in these positions, and this is one of the most, like, unproblematic basketball players. No history of, like, drama outside of the marriage or none of that stuff. And look at what you're doing. You want to join me
Steph
on
never, I mean, he wouldn't say publicly either, because I was like, Steph never displays like he feels embarrassed, like, but maybe he's also not one to really just come and do public interviews to talk about things either. So
yeah, we could do that conversation, because I got my receipts, everything in my phone. I got my receipts already. I got receipts upon receipts.
Trials.
Hmm?
You're not on trial.
She is on trial. She's on trial. Cause she ain't gonna keep doing. I don't even watch basketball. This one is for the men. He can't show he's embarrassed. That's what I'm saying. He stays low. He doesn't speak on it. Like, the man doesn't even be on social media going back and forth, and now he has to. That pisses me off. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna tap in with that. She's creating the drama for him. Exactly. Sending you an invite. Yeah, we're gonna tap in on it. I'm telling you, I got all my information. But what we do want to talk about is this thing here. Oh my God, if I could get to it. Yo, every time, dog. Every time this this thing always messing up. Hold on a second, guys. Because I do want I to see this video. One moment. But so you gonna be in on that there? You gonna be in on the you ain't tapped in on what's going on.
I gotta get caught up, I guess. I didn't know like more things transpired since we talked about it.
There's always more things. All right, so we got this video that Neci has sent to me, right? And I think that it's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. Switching to a healthy relationship. I don't know what going on with Aisha Steph, but we're gonna switch to a healthy relationship. So this conversation, it's a beautiful one because of how it flows. You can see that, like, sometimes as the man you want to be in charge and all of that stuff, but sometimes like you're not supposed to be in the lead at that time, right? And we'll just let you look at it and we'll go into it.
I love this video.
You can't say I'm safe with you if every time we have a uncomfortable conversation or I'm emotional about something, you walk away from me. How does that make me feel safe?
I understand why you would feel like that. I just be trying to de-escalate the situation sometimes before it get worse. When we both angry, words don't come out right. So I walk away and try to cool off. That's not me walking away from you. That's me walking away from conflict. Especially when you're emotional.
If I'm ever emotional about something, offer me your shoulder and not your back. We're not going to be able to be in a healthy relationship if we aren't able to communicate. Walking away ain't going to solve no problems. In fact, it's just going to make me feel like you don't care.
I apologize, baby. You don't deserve anything of what I'm used to being. But you teaching me. I just don't mean to hurt your feelings. In the process of learning, you deserve to be loved correctly. And I'm going to be the one to do that.
Neither of us witnessed healthy relationships. So nobody taught us how to love correctly. We learned it together. Thank you for being a learner and a teacher with me.
Woo! Woo! They're taking shots at Neci.
Why do? Wait, why do?
You gain in touch with your soft side. Let me find out that the glass is not foggy watching this video. This is beautiful. It was.
Very right, Jaron Carl?
I don't know if this was an actual good Tubi movie that somebody recorded, or I don't know what it was.
That's the best Tubi I ever seen, even if it was just a short clip. But how he would have transformed 3 times in that clip already, and he'd have been a bald head dude from Lax. Like them Tubi people don't play. It'd have been a whole new Manchester Lane if that was Tubi.
Oh man, that was beautiful. I loved how they conversed. I love how they, even though they weren't in the middle of the argument, though.
No.
The fact that you could bring it up safely and like, nobody got offended by, oh, you're the learner on the team. But you go ahead. This is your clip. What do you think about it?
I absolutely loved it. I love that, one, they were kind of in an intimate space where she was laying on his chest, kind of like not being defensive, giving him an opportunity to just be like, we're not getting an argument, and also in a sense for him to be unable to escape, because you'd really have to move me out completely to, if you wanted to, like he said, he always leaves to avoid, and she's like, that's not solving the problem, but he don't want to argue with her. So I like the tone that they both chose in the conversation, even if it's not a genuine conversation they did, if it was for some movie or something, whatever. It's still a really good example that things happen. Sometimes you might yell or whatever, but you have to come back and then really clarify, like, this isn't what we talked about. We said we want a healthy relationship. This is what we're doing that's not healthy. You want to be my safe space, but you don't make me feel safe. And this is how you don't make me feel safe. And so she gave an example, and she also told him how he can make her feel safe at the same time. So I think it had a lot of great examples that didn't need to be like elaborated on, that many people can see like the tribute in it. And for those who really want to be in healthy relationships, it's a lot of work that goes into being in a healthy relationship, because you have to also undo the toxicity that you have, that you create, that you're used to. Like that video, the post the other day where the girl is like, she have a good man, but he's boring as fuck. And I'm like, no, she's boring. Because boring and toxicity is not the same thing. She's accustomed to a certain type of behavior that's toxic, that gives her an adrenaline rush. That's not being a good man. That is not what you're looking for. That has nothing to do with being boring. Because he don't have to be boring. He's just not tapping into the things that trigger you.
Facts. Right.
And so it's a clear difference. So I watched it like 4 times before I sent it to you. I was like, oh, let me send it to Job before I forget. Because I really love the tone of the whole conversation. And I just think it was really a genuine and a special moment. Whatever setting it was done for, I loved it.
Man, listen. First of all, old girl was dropping bars, and her feminine, soft tone when she said, when I'm going through something or something, give me your shoulder instead of your back. Oh, I would have got weak.
You not trying to slip it in. She right there, but listen to what she's trying to tell you. That's your problem.
Hey, apologies.
She's talking to you, John. Listen. Jesus.
Listen, yo, the energy was just like magnetic. And you know, there's something about the way that you talk to someone. You could say whatever the hell you want to say to me as long as you're talking like that. Like,
but I've told you this before. Your tone says a lot. You could say the same thing in 5 different tones and people receive it 5 different ways. Does it change that what you said is the truth? No. Did you not mean what you said? Yes, you did. But your tone is received in such a different way. I'm sure he heard every single word she said. He also didn't, any moment he didn't flinch or feel like he needed to be defensive or argumentative about it. He heard her. He repeated back the things to her. He even said why he does it when she does this, because when she's emotional, he doesn't want to trigger her further. So he leaves like, that is what that balance looks like.
And please take note, because often when these type of conversations happen, specifically in those moments, right? When she laying on your chest and everything cool and listen, for real, like, please, because women tend to do this, right? Please don't use this as a time to like ask me if you were a lamp, would I still love you? Please don't. You see how she eased into it, and like the transition wasn't like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Like, take note, please. That's not the time to like, if I was a fly, like, leave me alone.
A fly, I swat you with my and spray you with my raid spray. A fly.
I came across a video of a man saying, "Let his woman sit on me." I understood. No, that's real though. That's intimacy. That is intimacy, and I think that y'all should try. You know, and see how long you can last. Also, because I bet you he'll listen. Then, no,
you know,
it's in a book that I read. Whatever, y'all.
They gotta send you a text message before they come over there, because you gonna just be, she'll be talking to you and you'll be peeing up close and she'll be like, "John, listen," and you'll be like, "I'm hearing you." You're not gonna hear nothing.
She said it to them. Jerica said it. I'm just agreeing that you want to get a man. There's things that you have to do if you want to get a man to really listen to you, man. The "if I was blank would still love me" question is the most annoying. I think I break for a woman because of it. And they wait until they're laying on your chest, you're having this great intimate moment, you relaxed and calm, and man. So who is Susan?
I don't get the relevance of objecting your love for me to object.
It's retarded. If I was a rose, would you pick me? Yeah, like, come on, that's the best you could come with. So anyway, back to the video. I love that they acknowledge that they're both learning. At points, they're both teachers. They acknowledge that from their past, this is not something that I'm used to. I responded to you in this way. There was accountability. He acknowledged that he walking off. He don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything about that interaction was open. And that'll be the issue in conversations. We close off. Like, we might physically actually go into defensive modes, and you know what I'm saying? When you no, it was an open conversation by 2 people that love each other. So you know it's not coming from a place of attack. You don't need to get defensive. And it went smoothly. And the conversations can be like that. But like Neci said, it depends on your tone. And trust me, I'm one of those who like, it don't matter the tone as long as it's true. Certain times it's important that your tone, you check it before you come across. Even you may even need to take a breath and decide what you're actually going to say. Like, don't just say whatever, because you need to process the words that you're going to use and all of that there. Sometimes that is necessary if you want to be understood, and most of us want to be understood if we're speaking. So yeah, that was great. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I feel like running it back, but me want to get too mushy. I love when women don't assume I'm supposed to know and ask. A lot of times there's a story behind it. It's another thing. One, like, yes, as men, we have to be able to receive that vulnerability for her to feel comfortable so that she can feel comfortable saying it to us. And ladies, you have to trust that the man that you say you love, if you love him, you can open up to him. Acknowledgement, accountability, communication, being not only here but actually received. Woo! I'm here for it. Let's be realistic. There is no mind readers. If you need to cool off, cool, but let your partner know that you're coming back and avoid them feeling abandoned. Agreed. Also, you need to not really schedule, but you need to let your partner know we're gonna talk about this at such and such a time, or such and such. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it right now, but give me about a 20-minute walk. Let me take a 30-minute walk, and we'll come back and then you have to come back and do it. Communicate and be honest and transparent. Healthy relationships are based on that. Facts. Everybody says and acts like they know that communication is the key. However, communication is the hardest part of any relationship. Especially when you're in an emotional state. Communicating isn't as easy as people make it seem. Lying, manipulation. It's difficult. When you're upset, when you're feeling hurt, when it's a tough time to communicate, and then the other person has to understand as well. So I think what we need to register also is that men and women communicate differently. So if you are in hetero relationships, we need to try to communicate in the best way that our significant other would understand.
Agree. I want to know what Darren meant by my soft girl. Like, he knows if I have a soft life or not. Like, that's real interesting. But it's
your
Darren,
soft side, yeah. So Darren, explain what you meant about Neci getting in touch with her soft side. Does she not show her soft side, or what that's about? Talk to us. Tell us in the chat. All right. So next, this is something that posted on the Same Difference page, and so we posted this and it went alongside a poll, right? So this guy has a perspective on the loss or devaluation of dating, and he has a theory. Now, the poll came out, 80% of the people, the respondents, they agreed with him. 20% disagreed, right? Listen to what he says, digest what he says, and then tell me what you think.
No whole shit, and I don't want to attack women, but women have lowered the value of a dating because they go on a date with anybody. Y'all, they go on dates and go lemon drop crazy with a nigga she knows she ain't about to text back tomorrow, you know? So it's like they lower the value of the date and then tell you it's bare minimum. Yeah, it's bare minimum because you made it that way. Dating is really, honestly, dating is not bare minimum, but it is. But dating is for somebody to get to know each other, not because you wanted something to do today.
So if you just joined us, we're on 101.3 Rural FM, the U.S. Virgin Islands #1 station. Hopefully you saw that clip. Darren says, I was just joking. I can't mess with Neci. He was joking about it.
I know he was joking. I wonder what he meant. Like, he know
What do you mean?
He know if they have a soft girl side or not. He wouldn't know.
So the evaluation of dating, 80% of the respondents agreed. What do you think here, Neci?
Do we know if the respondents were just like men and women? We just know that's just 80%.
It was men and women.
Okay.
I don't know the split. 80-20, both men and women responded.
I do agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that to an extent women have, because they will go on dates with anyone. But who are they going on these dates with? Ain't still man? Ain't still a man taking them and paying for it? So if they were taking themselves and other women were doing it, I would be like, yeah, they just go on dates with anybody. And some women will. But I also think some men kind of knows when they're taking someone on a date that it's not going to go any further, but they still want to take them. So I do agree with the majority of the people. There has been a shift in the quality of dating, and quality don't mean the price or the value of the date, just the quality of the date and the getting to know you. But if you're on a date with a girl and you're asking her questions and she's just into taking pictures of her food and putting it on Instagram, that's a no-go.
Exactly.
Don't go back and be like, oh, I want to take you out again, but you wasn't interested. She's showing you she wasn't interested. Especially if you're trying to do it by asking questions and being, open about getting to know the person. If a person is showing you that they genuinely aren't interested in you or giving you vague answers, but they want you to go out with them, but they're not really wanting to get to know you, that's a sign. That's a sign that you know exactly what the feeling is. I know a lot of people don't like to be rejected. Nobody does. It's not a good feeling, but it's gonna end badly now or later. You just have to choose when it's going to end. And so make better informed decisions. While women has devalued the date, you create the value for your dates. And if she's not up to your value, then don't take her.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here that I think, because the question is simple, I think we leave out the nuances, right? First, posted this question in the chat: what is the purpose of dating? So if y'all can answer that in the chat for me, what do you think the purpose of dating is? Darren says, I agree with him. Gentleman Style says, I did not see that clip before. Now, a lot of them going on dates because they're hungry and want somebody to pay. Now, do women think that men want to go on dates? Is that like a high priority for men, you think?
I think women want the concept of courting without having to be courted. Like, typically dating was created to build families through marriage. And it was a chaperoned event.
Yes.
It wasn't a you and him go figure it out. Like, there were chaperones on your dates when you go out to decide if you guys have a bond or a chemistry. And there's only so much days before he has to decide, like, does he want to be with you or not? And if he wants to be with you, you guys are going to be getting married, right? And so the point of dating was really transactional in a sense, because it was to build families together, two families who want to continue. It's the same thing with like kings and queens. They send the queen from whatever over here to kind of bridge the two kingdoms together to build a stronger bond, etc., etc. That's what the dating concept was done for. Now we have the choice and the free will to actually get to know the person that we want to be in a relationship with. Before, it was just to see if there was some compatibility. It wasn't necessarily if you liked him or not, because some of it was going to happen regardless. So we have the option now to get to really know a person. And my thing is, if you're not truly trying to get to know a person, then you should not be going out on dates. Not that you can't spend time with people that you want to spend time with, but you're wasting your time being on the date when you have no interest with them.
Thanks.
Now, you could take yourself on dates, because I think a lot of the population don't date themselves and they don't really know what they want. And so they self-adjust for every person that they meet depending on what that person provides. And so while it's great, I like the concept of going on dates and dating. But if I realize that you're not even intrigued, or you're not participating in the conversations, or you're not even driving conversations for me to be involved with the critical think, then for me it's like a wash. But I can firmly make that choice and be like, I don't see this going nowhere. I know that that's what the situation is. I'm not gonna keep going out and date with somebody because I'm hungry. Like, I don't go out to eat. We don't go out to eat. John knows. We don't go out to eat over here. Over here.
So now the thing, he made it clear why he may have stumbled a bit, but he made it clear why he felt women devalue dating, right? It wasn't to bash women or nothing like that.
No.
I think he did a good job of not making it, oh, this is versus women. So, first, I do not believe that men actually value dates. They want to get to know you. They want to further this thing. We agree that the purpose of dating is not to offset inflation costs and because your grocery bill is high. Dates, to me, in my opinion, is like an interview. We're trying to get to know each other to see if we're a good match. I think we've lost the plot now. And I agree with what he was saying. Again, the plot is lost. Because, honestly, because men don't really care about dates, and like, if they could get for free, they're going to get for free. But men are taking women on dates because that's something women value. Now, women took what power they had, and then, like, what they do often, they give up their own power. Now they're putting it in the hands of the man to impress them and do all this other stuff with the date. Now it's about the experience. But you're missing the whole point that you need to begin to know me. So why are you going out with a man you don't want to get to know? And then, no, this is how they're giving up the power again. You're going out on dates because you're hungry. You're going out on dates because the man got money and you want to use his money and you've never been to this restaurant. So now after he passed on this information to his homeboy that this girl just used me for my money, will you think the homeboy gonna really value dating other women? No, because they out here using man for money and food. So now you get man that already didn't really put any value into dating. They were just something we need to do to get to you. You're hurting yourself. So we posted this on the Same Difference page, right? And then we got comments like this. They did not disagree. They disagree with what he said, but no one said, we don't do that. I've dated people I wasn't physically attracted to. I have done that blank. It don't work out. I remember one time in the back of my head, I kept saying he ugly bad. This is the first date. So then I asked, right? So they are not denying that it happens, but they took it to be, whose fault is it? Men taking women out that they know don't like them. Men leading with money and then getting feelings hurt. So I asked, walk me through how a woman saying yes to a date lets a man know she doesn't like him. Please explain this to me, because you're saying it's the man's fault because he should have known that this woman who is still a stranger, why can't you tell she don't like you? I don't know you. I don't know your mannerisms. I don't know how you talk or text or none of that stuff. But he should know. Her response was, somehow you might not like this and it's okay. It's my opinion. Oh, God, that's the wrong thing. So I said, walk me through her saying that. And basically, she says that it's because men, we have money and we lead with money. So it's our fault that women see that you lead with money and take and use you for the money. But ain't that what he just said caused the valuation of the dating? So you disagree with what he said, then you prove this point. So how that work? I don't understand. I remember a while back someone said that men don't have nice cars or nice houses for themselves. They have it for the women they date. A man will live in a cardboard box. It was wild to me. This is true. I agree 100% with that. Like, men are not nesters by nature. We're not the nesters of the genders, are we? If you see a man, he might have a bed, could be on the floor or on something else. He'll have the necessities, the bare necessities. When does he start getting his and hers towels? When he get a her. If you get embroidered pillows as a man, I don't think you like man. Indirect agreement. You see, indirect agreement. So I don't understand. Like, y'all just don't want to say that he was right, that I agree with it. But it's like, y'all got the power and you're giving it up and blaming. How do I know that you, a stranger, don't like me when you just agreed to go out and spend time with me?
I mean, I would say, like, if you ask me out and I'd be like, I guess, like, to me that's a sign, like, she'll go, but like, I agree. If she says like yes, then I would say, but if she's giving you like a vague, like, well, I guess so, or yeah, I guess, or she keeps giving you like a loop around why she don't want to go, and she finally like, like, you know, like, there's some things women do is either texting or talking to you that you would know, like, she really wants to go, but maybe at some point she might give in and say yes. There are some women who are very clear and be like, yeah, let's go on a date, and they prompt you to go because they want to go, and either it's for you or for the food or whatever. And those you have to do a little bit more work to decide, to determine if they like you or not. But there's some of them who just don't really. You can see how they text you. When you text them like, good morning, have a great day, and they like thumbs up, or they be like, okay, and they don't even be like, you have a good. They're not even giving you have a good day too. Like, there's no effort. And so those are things that some guys could really look at and be like, okay, like, she really was showing me that she was interested, because the gentleman gestures that I was portraying weren't being reciprocated.
You see, and that's my thing. So Neci, why not be direct and say no? That word is still available. It's still an option.
And I agree. They should just say no, they don't want to. But I mean, listen, I'm not here to debate, to defend a woman's race, because it pisses me too. You know what I mean? And so, but I will say, like, guys have to also do their own decoding, because you can't, right? And so while she's not giving you a direct, and that's a good sign too. If she's not giving you a direct yes or no, that's a sign. Because a woman, if somebody who I want to go out with asks me out, I would be like, sure, when? And then you have to tell me when and whatever. And I'd be like, what time do I need to be what time do I need to be ready? There's a dress code. Like, I think Shamel had a post today. She was talking about going to Burger King on a first date. And I said, I would be upset. And they were like, why am I upset? And I was like, it's not about going to Burger King. If you're going on a first date, I'm going to ask questions like, where are we going? If it's a surprise, fine. How am I supposed to dress? Like, so I'm in accordance with wherever we're trying to go. Now, if you tell me to dress nice, and you pull into the Burger King drive-thru, I'm going to go someplace where I'm dressed accordingly to eat. Because you could go, it's not about going Burger King. You could tell me we're doing a picnic and you're going Burger King to pick up, the meals. That's great. I think that's cute. You know what I mean? But if you tell me like to dress nice and then we're going to Burger King, that's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna tell you, drop me home. I'm gonna jump in my car and take my ass somewhere to eat because I don't dress nice for the night. And go get me something nice to eat by myself if I want to.
Now check this out. And it goes back to his point again. Right? First, I don't think y'all, like, because you don't date women, right? I don't think y'all realize how wide the spectrum is of your values. Because even on that post, right, the answers were different all across the spectrum. So you have to understand that a man has to navigate that. When you expect him to just know, these are the wide spectrum, like it's an autism spectrum down there, that he have to just know that that's the type of woman you are. When one woman, listen, I seen a video where a woman say, he took me to Applebee's and this is what I wore. She had on a bonnet, basketball shorts, and a dirty white t-shirt. To me, that's not even Applebee's attire.
It's not.
That's Netflix and chill, you want to be my homeboy attire. I
won't even go Walmart like that just so that way you like
something. See what I'm saying? But to her, that made sense because the date was bare minimum. I'm aware the but her bare minimum is actually lower than the standard. But she didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? So I agree that we should pay attention to the signs. And like Jerica says, if the yes isn't emphatic or decisive, it's a no. Agreed. My boys, I need to respect yourselves. They have those dudes that swear, oh, that just means I need to apply pressure. But there, again, men are navigating this wide spectrum of how women behave. I don't believe, for one, that a lot of men know what it looks like when a woman actually likes them. Because we're always the one pursuing and all of that stuff. They really can't tell what it's like for a woman to reciprocate, because that's a whole other story. There's a whole bunch of women that I really believe reciprocation is too much, and if he expects it, he says it. And
I'm teaching my boys reciprocation. You should be received. It should be received.
You should.
Don't let nobody pull wool over your eyes that you're not important, you're not worthy, you're not worth the chase, you're not, and you don't have to chase my sons. What I mean is you have to contribute to him. You want him to pour his whole into you, including his entire finances into yourself. And what he get from you, attitude? Like,
but
I've never paid my bills with an attitude yet.
But how many of us was taught that though? And for two, we're forgetting that man don't know you. You are a stranger. No. There are legitimately women that think being mean with the guy they like is flirting. They will treat the bartender and the waiter and talk to the wait staff better than they talk to the guy they claim they like. And they think that's flirting. There are women in our age group that think they need to wait several minutes before they reply to a text so they don't seem like they're too eager. I just saw a woman say that. At your big age, you still counting down before you can reply to me?
Man, it's free now all the time, right? It's no more after 9 p.m.
I thought. And then it's unlimited. You get unlimited talk, data, and text. Why are you counting? Your bill gonna be the same amount.
I think that's what's wrong with the dating pool, John. I think they didn't understand the need to have a house phone, the cell phone with the only free nights and weekends where you have to really, if I really wanted to talk to you, you gotta text me the whole message in the one text. Because you're not gonna be burning out all my minutes during the day. My lunch break is from this time to this time. Call my desk phone. I could talk to you then, or I'm gonna talk to you later. There's no desire for like, oh, like I'm like, you know, like, and for it to be unlimited now, where you can just contact me at any given moment of any day, 24 hours a day, like you said. I gonna watch the text and be like, oh, Jack just text me. I'll text you back later. Come you want him to seem like I just see, like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So but check this out. So you bring up a good point. Back in the days, it was easy to tell if somebody could really like you though. Yeah. Because it required effort. Now it doesn't. So they're pretending and doing all these other extra steps to make it seem like they don't even care. I'm telling you, she really just said that. Like, she have to wait a couple minutes before she could reply. Listen, I'm different. Leave me already. You ain't reading nothing again. That'll be your last read receipt from me. But some of these men that chase and pursue and all of that other stuff, that's different.
But I will say, like, unless they come back with a, like, sometimes, and like, for example, like, I would be in a meeting and see that you text me, but I can't respond. I see it.
Yeah, of course.
I have to wait till I'm done. I'll be like, hey, I was in a meeting. Whatever. Yeah. But some people don't even have like courtesy response. It's just like, I see you coming. Yeah, there's no banter. We're not even given to like build or to learn or to understand. Is that this is who I am and you gotta take me like this. No, I don't have to take you like that.
welfare line
And
particular.
yeah, so guys need to do a little. I think they need. It can't. Yes, women gonna. They're gonna use guys for dates if they want to. There's guys who just have the means to take women on a date and they just use them for fun.
Yeah.
And there was a
There's
guy
guys
who
with
went
money.
on like he did like 50, like 60 something first dates
Oof.
just to like get with women. And do you know how much of those 60 something women he got with? Because I guess they kind of band together on, I don't know if it was Tinder or one of them, and they figured out like he just like a one and done. But you like one he smash, he don't smash, it's just, but he have the means to do it. So sometimes guys can take you out to the places you want to go, but trust and believe that's a penny in their pocket compared to the average guy. And will they treat you good? The money don't mean nobody gonna treat you good. It just means that they have money.
Exactly.
Just
And
Jesus didn't get divorced because he had money. His wife did not leave because he did not have money. She did not leave for that reason. I promise.
Oh man. So perfect. When I used to date, I sent a girl a nice birthday card, and the woman was mad that she took the card and no money fall out. That was the last conversation. No interest. But in my dating journeys, I have seen a bunch of wild stuff. Keep a mixed signals and weird energy. The mixed signals will keep you hanging on longer than you should.
It does.
So that's another thing. So I'm glad you brought that up, because one minute it seems like she like you, the next minute it seems like she don't. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes she's just bored. I used to be a part of a Big Brother program and said to a young man I was mentoring, if you're not being poured back into, then that relationship is not good for you. Unlimited nights and weekends with a little orange singular man. Recently, I was told I care too much, and that's their reason to stop. You know, I ain't gonna loan.
You know what? After this, I think we're gonna have a meeting with you, Darren, because why you have your feelings up with somebody else again? We just talked about this the other day.
Last week.
We just talked about this with you.
Como say what? Yeah, man. A lot of dating stories. Listen, it's rough. So basically, give time to the people that, you know, reciprocate. Give time to the people that you could tell they care about you, and it's not off and on and iffy and leaving guessing games and all of that stuff, because that's a good sign that you're being strung along. Listen, I wish I could talk to more men. Really, I really would like to have more men's conferences and all of that stuff, and it's in the works, because like the men, the boys, we really need to know and understand what's going on, because times are changing. Times are changing. The women them coming more savage. What?
Speaking of times are changing, it's 6:30.
Yeah. We've been going. But hey, so look up to the top of your screen. There's a QR code, and that QR code is for my Caribs and people who want to celebrate St. Croix Central High School Caribs. There's an event coming through, sponsored by us, Same Difference, and Ambiance Cocktail Lounge. So, November 1st, you got Caravana at Ambiance Cocktail Lounge, the Ultimate Carib Bash. All St. Croix Central High alum and every other alum are welcome as long as you're 21 or above. Saturday, November 1st at Ambiance Cocktail Lounge. What's going on at Ambiance Cocktail Lounge? Well, first, let me tell you what that QR code and the ticket's gonna get you. So I know a little somebody by Sweet and Spicy Sensations, aka Chef Tanisha. She is sponsoring,
aka my wifey.
aka your wifey. She's catering the event. So we got horse d'oeuvres. We got some beautiful
What is the word?
Hey, I know Ambiance don't play no games. We don't play no games. So we got some beautiful horse d'oeuvres, hors d'oeuvres if you fancy. Fried mac balls, fried mahi bites, crab salad with crackers, chicken and shrimp kebabs, riblets, mini pate, saltfish and beef. We got wings, barbecue, and garlic palm. Listen, all of this food, you could get as much as you want until the food done. We will not stop you. She gonna serve it, and hopefully you don't eat a lot, but still, you could come and get it. Who else? What else we got going on? We got the soon-to-be world famous Party Jesus. He's on the ones and twos. That boy, if you know anything about this man is a true entertainer by every way you can slice that word. That's what he is. So you know VIP gonna come through and she gonna bring the vibes with her too. But ones and twos, we got DJ Party Jesus. And the party starts at 5, promptly at 5 to 9 p.m. But that ain't even it. What else going on? What else you could get? Well, we have the very first live performance by one of the USVI's own, one of the artists from the Beach Music Group, Tina Angel.
You might be the one, might be my diamond in the rough.
Come see this beautiful young lady with her sultry voice. She's been compared to Janae Aiko and them realms, you know what I'm saying? Like the witchy girls with the good music, but they are a little toxic. So her music is in that vibe. So come through, listen to her first performance. And we still ain't done. We have desserts from the Sweet Stuff. They'll be providing the desserts, a beautiful cake and pastries. Woo! So they're gonna be shirt signing. We're gonna have a booklet with the yearbooks from as many of the previous years we could get from Central High School. So come through, man. Like I said, the QR code, you can scan the QR code and get your tickets right there. See you at Ambiance November 1st. Horse deers.
I can't even pronounce it how he pronounced it. I don't know what I was.
Let me go find some new baskets to put my eggs in. Give time to people that like you for real. Facts. Bro, you planning on doing a Same Difference live event next year? Sure do. You know I am. All right. That's it for the announcements, man. Neci, do you have any final words? In your soul?
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure,
Indie?
final words for what are you talking about? Indie? Indie what?
For the genre of music, like Janae Aiko and the likes. Is that indie or neo soul? Which one is?
There's an indie, I believe.
That's where they fall in?
I don't know if it falls in with the neo soul, but I know there's an indie category.
Okay.
They're trying to subcategory too much for me. I'm just like basic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My last words would be that own the decisions that you make, because the consequences or the benefits is yours alone to bear or to be fruitful from.
Horse Tourverse. It's the final.
Man, I cannot say that. I don't know what that was.
Hey, for my final word, listen, in this world of basketball wives, be a Savannah James and don't be Aisha Curry. All right? Support your spouse, support the people that love you, support your local artists, support Same Difference. Go ahead and follow A Different Day with Ja and Neci. Follow 101.3 Royal FM. You can listen on TuneIn and on your radio dial. But to tune in, of course, if you're away from home, you can tap in with us through that. Hopefully, we're trying to get back on the radio. We'll look into it. Follow Same Difference. Like I said, check in with Gentleman Style Podcast. We may be on there this week. I'm trying to talk about Aisha Curry because she got my blood hot. All right, and buy your tickets. All right, that's it. We love you guys. Thank you for coming. Share the live. Tell people about us. Have a great week. Until next Sunday, I'm Ja. That's Neci. We out. We love you. Peace.